as of this week for the first time since 2023. And we are underway as the Canes win the opening tip. And they're really good at home, too. They're 15-2 on this floor.
Well, when you consider they shoot the basketball so well, and most teams, home teams, shoot even better on their home floor. So that makes it an advantage for the Hurricanes here, especially on senior day, OB, where you're going to see some of these guys playing their last regular season games of their career.
Malik Renew is their top guy at 6'9". Trey Donaldson, terrific guard. And Ernest Uday Jr. at 6'11". Those are the seniors from Miami. 11th consecutive time that Jay Lucas is starting the same lineup. Here's McNeely on the drive. Henderson, the terrific freshman, sealed him off. Conwell will float that one up there and knock it down. He'll have to have a big game today.
He does have to have a huge game, and Jay Lucas knows that, OB. He was already disgusted with his team's defense when he saw Conwell open on the wing.
Renew dribble down, and that's going to be a foul on him, an offensive on Malik Renew as he went in strong.
And you're talking about one of the best players in the ACC, a strong candidate for first-team All-ACC this season, averaging over 19 points per game. And when you consider him picking up that first foul early, that could take away a level of aggressiveness for Renew to start this one.
Up top, here's Hadley. He swings it to McNeely, very dangerous from three, and poked away by Miami. Dante Allen gives it right back.
No numbers for Dante right there. 4 black jerseys back. Transition defense on point for the Cards.
It's a Louisville team that's had to play a bunch of games, 10 games without Michael Brown Jr. So they're used to that. Knocked away the quick hands of Shelton Henderson, the freshman from Houston. It's going to be so much fun to watch.
And he is a matchup problem. You look at the size of Shelton Henderson going up and guarding Conwell as we get a look at Michael Brown's numbers, and the Cards without him now playing their 10th game without him. So at 4-4, missing the last 2 after that.
Shot clock down to 1. Conwell can't hit the fall away. Miami with 24 wins. They just beat SMU on Wednesday in Dallas. And the fans finally get a chance to sit down as Uday Jr. knocks it down.
And a nice find from Trey Donaldson going up top, one of the top assist men in the league. Oh, OB, that's going to be the second on Renew.
Wow.
Already. The Hurricanes want to play fast. Getting out in transition. Donaldson up top to Uday, who's able to finish it off. But on the other end of the floor, OB, already. And we talked about how important Renew is to this Miami team. Picks up the offensive foul 2 possessions ago, and now picking up the defensive foul, going to sit down with 18 remaining in this first half.
Drew Washington on the floor now for Miami. Very much an X factor for Jay Lucas. They're 7-1 with him coming off the bench this year. Zougaras at the line, a 6'8" junior from Greece. And cannot make it a three-point play. 5-2 the Bill. Washington off for Donaldson. Donaldson averaging 17, Renew 19, and Henderson 14 a game. Those are the top scorers for Miami. Shot clock down to 9. Washington gives it up. Allen with the shot clock to 4. The freshman has it knocked away. Quick hands by Conwell.
You got to stop Conwell early. Don't give him space to pull up from 3.
McNeely open from the corner, knocks down a triple. That's a nice start here for Louisville.
That's the Cards game, OB. They want to play fast. They want to find those transition threes. Now lead the ACC with 33 three-point field goal attempts per game.
Louisville leading the all-time series with Miami, 15-8. On the turnover, here's McNeely in the open floor. He'll jump in the paint, give it away, and 2 for Hadley. And Miami needs a timeout.
OB, we see a sense of urgency by the Cards. We see the hands to the basketball, doing a great job getting in defensive position to take the offensive foul against Malik Reneau. And when now Isaac McNeely stepping in, taking the charge, but it's really been the defense of the Cards getting out in transition, allowing them to score those easy, fast break points which Miami absolutely wants no part of here this afternoon.
Miami already with 4 turnovers. That's the biggest reason Louisville has a 10-2 lead, and again playing without their #1 guy in Michael Brown Jr. Now a season comparison, Louisville first time unranked this season because they've dropped 3 out of their last 5. Miami back in the poll after winning 7 out of their last 8.
And the crazy part about that, OB, is when you look at these two teams, Louisville, even though not in the national rankings, still number 15 in their net rankings. That shows you the schedule that Pat Kelsey has challenged his team with throughout this season. Miami, with all their success, a number 29 in their net ranking. So Louisville still looked at higher according to the NCAA tournament.
Louisville facing their 8th top 25 opponent. They're 2-5 so far against that field. Miami with the basketball. They're expecting about 7,000 or 8,000 here this afternoon. Henderson gets free in the lane. Not there for him. One of the highest ranked recruits in the history of the Miami program. And Jim Larrañaga has brought in, over the past, before he retired, a lot of terrific players here. Went to a Final Four. So that's saying something.
It really is. And you consider Jay Lucas going back home, going to his own high school of Bel Air in Houston to get Shelton Henderson, bringing him to the U.
Foul on Miami and True Washington. He picks up his first. Now look at Jay Lucas, certainly a top candidate for Coach of the Year in the ACC after this incredible turnaround. A 17-win improvement from a year ago here.
OB, and you consider the fastest to 20 wins. Second fastest, only behind Bill Guthridge, who took over for Dean Smith in 1998. And that is an elite company when you consider how quickly Jay Lucas got to 20 wins in his first season.
Shot clock will cause a heave here that barely nicks the iron. And Miami to put some pressure on Louisville, down by 8. Allen for Washington, thought about it. Donaldson will loft it up there. That clangs away. He makes about 34%. He is their #1 3-point guy. It's not a big factor for Miami. They take a lot more 2s, but that guy can hit the 3. Conwell's made a couple early.
And another issue for Miami, they give up 35% from beyond the 3-point arc, which is dead last in ACC play, going up against a team that values the 3 more than anyone in the Cardinals. That is something where Louisville will try to exploit that throughout this game.
Donaldson with a pull-up pop, nails it. That's a shot the Canes needed.
It really is. And Obi, you and I had the opportunity to call Trey Donaldson's game last year when he was at Michigan playing against Wake Forest. We knew he was a leader then, but is really taking his game to the next level here at the U.
Conwell again, no this time. Rebound torn down by Uday, who gets 10 a game. He is a great rebounder at 6'11".
Second in the ACC only to Cameron Boozer. But Uday also on that Defensive Player of the Year watch.
Washington, no. Conwell comes out of the pack with it. Louisville #4 in the nation with 12 made threes per game. They love the 3-point shot, but they're going to turn it over. Washington gets 12 points a game to transfer from New Mexico. Very, very important player on a short roster. Henderson weaving his way in for 2.
His versatility makes them so different. With Renew going out with the 2 fouls, Henderson can easily slide over to the 4 position and still win his matchup against Ananda Fruit.
Malik Renew at 19.7 rebounds a game. On the bench right now, Hadley weaving his way in for the basket.
This is the end where it's been a problem for Miami throughout this season. Defensively, they have not been a very good team, and that's coming from a defensive guy and Jay Lucas, who was the defensive coordinator for the Blue Devils for the last 2 years.
Now he has built Miami into a top 25 team really in a blur, and a couple of nice wins here in the ACC down the stretch, beating North Carolina, beating SMU. Shot clock to 6. Donaldson going one-on-one with Woolley, who will foul him. No shot there, did not count. But he will draw the foul.
You've got a number of guys who are very important factors for this Miami team who are playing in their last regular season game.
A little extra excitement.
It definitely could be that. You got the family here. And you always want to put on for your family, Obi. Oftentimes a little too much. But hasn't phased Trey Donaldson, he's been very good early for the Canes. However, as a point guard, you got to be responsible for your team with 4 turnovers in their 10 offensive possessions, and that's been a struggle. Even though he's not the guy committing the turnovers, he's got to go take the basketball away from some of those guys.
Well, he has it now at the logo. Miami trying to cut in.
Louisville going to the zone, OB, now to see if they can force Miami to beat them from beyond the arc. Remember, this is a team that only makes about 6.5 3-point field goals a game in Miami.
Delbrat, the junior from Israel, with a misfire there. So the Cardinals with the basketball. And McNeely draws the double, trying to get free. Zougaris with a shot clock to 8. Spinning inside, off balance, could not get that one to go.
Yeah, tremendous defense by Uday to move his feet on that possession.
Donaldson again, a 3. Rebound tipped away. Washington, a terrific save there along the baseline through Washington. With 12:46 to go here in the first half.
Smart play by True Washington as he's surrounded by 2 different Cardinal defenders, going out of bounds, throws it off of Zougaris and maintains possession for the U.
Zougaris, the muscular Greek. I'm really surprised the basketball survived there. Nice job in heavy traffic for Donaldson to lay it in.
May have a little less air on the basketball right now
Slightly
after going off those
deflated.
shoulders.
Might have been.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's going to roll in. That's a 3-pointer.
Yeah, the 3rd 3 for Conwell already. We haven't even played 8 minutes of game action. Pat Kelsey going up to half court, calling off the zone for his team. Did not like the last defensive possession.
Conwell, the number 2 scorer for the Cardinals. On the move, Dubrat will swing it. Donaldson. His jumper, yes. Caught some iron and fell in.
That's that home court bounce, OB. Donaldson off to a good offensive start, but he's going to need some help from some of his teammates, especially with Renew on the bench.
Luke's lost it. Donaldson hitting the deck. So did Zougaris. And with 11:43 to go here in the first half, it's 18-10 Louisville.
So that basketball was called.
Movement from last year. And today they can break the school record for most regular season victories with 25. So everything coming up roses for Jay Lucas. An amazing job. And certainly one of the leading candidates for ACC Coach of the Year. Khalifa coming off the bench and buries that. He's been a little under the weather, but the shot looked very healthy.
It does look very healthy. Khalifa was questionable as to whether or not he would even be able to participate in this game, and has an impact as soon as he steps on the floor.
Well, he's played in every game this year, the big guy from Egypt, and he did not want that to end because he has some flu-like symptoms. Dovrat on the drive, no basket there. He'll draw the foul with 11:07 to go in the half. The foul on McNeely.
Khalifa also observing Ramadan, so not only dealing with the flu-like symptoms, but unable to eat during daylight hours. So his energy, eat or drink during daylight hours, so his energy could be a little lower.
Right.
However, the shot looking good on his first opportunity once he gets on the court.
7-footer, can really pass it to Donaldson. Yes. But he's getting the shot going right away.
He really is. And without Renew on the floor, Trey Donaldson recognizing he's going to have to pick up his offensive production. Now Renew actually steps back onto the floor with those 2 fouls.
Washington with the pick. Donaldson trying to drive it, and he takes a hit. Trey Donaldson, the last 5 games, averaging 21 a game and hitting 44% from 3.
And went back to his hometown of Tallahassee, getting a win 2 games ago on the floor, avenging a loss from Florida State, beating Miami here in that interstate rivalry on their home floor.
Adrian Woolley's second foul, and another whistle. The crew today, Ron Groover, Justin Porterfield, and Michael Kitts. And the foul will go against Jamont Hadley, number 1. And to this point, a quick moving first half in Miami. Louisville leading the all-time series with the Canes 15-8. True Washington, quick step to the baseline. A couple of good fakes, and he made it.
And True Washington, a secondary ball handler, so when he checks into the game, it allows Trey Donaldson to play off the ball a bit. But True Washington showing that he can score just as well. And now with Renew back on the floor, Jay Lucas electing to go zone, but they've got to find that guy, especially against the zone. Conwell now with his 4th made three-point field goal.
We have seen, you and I, Louisville a lot this year. When he's cold, he's really cold. When he's hot, look out.
Well, Obi, you had a chance to call the freshman record 45 points for Michael Brown against NC State. And what was forgotten in that game is that Conwell had 31. So
yes,
those two guys combining for 76 points and 15 made three-point field goals.
That's all. Just two guys. They could not miss.
There are teams that don't average 75 points per game.
Telling you. Conwell, heavy traffic, spins it up there. Makes the shot. He may be on his way to a huge day.
He absolutely playing his last regular season game, and he is definitely thinking that. More importantly, he wants to send a message. If the Cards win this game, they will finish 6th as Dobrat is able to knock down the 3 off of another nice Trey Donaldson find. But this matchup could be a Thursday matchup at the ACC tournament. And so Conwell is sending a message right now, hey, you're going to have to deal with me, not just today, but it may be again in 2-1-8.
Khalifa open again and finds the range.
I love how Khalifa looks over to Pat Kelsey every time he knocks down a 3.
Right.
As to say, you should have let me shoot these all year.
I should have shot a ton more of these. He's 39%.
Yes. Had made 5 threes against Duke in the first matchup this season.
Somehow I think the head coach knows best, but funny how that works out. Shot clock to 9. On the spin. Renew downstairs, can't finish. He's been playing in foul trouble here. Donaldson weaves inside for 2 more.
I love this young man, Trey Donaldson, as he asked Jay Lucas for a break. Obi, he's probably playing the point guard position better than anyone in the ACC right now. But not only his scoring, but more important, his ability to facilitate. He has really become a true factor, possibly a first-team All-ACC member this year.
He's a heady leader for the Hurricanes. Jay was talking about him today in their practice. What a huge get that was from Miami that Donaldson came from Michigan. Second opportunity now for Louisville. Rogers in the game, takes a little bit of a bump, hits the deck, no whistle. They're going to let him play today. Dobrat around the back. Washington beyond the 3. Renew attacking, lays it in, and a whistle too.
And dangerous play right there, Obi. Renew attacking the basket. Khalifa was there. Renew does a good job of jumping around him and getting the contact. And a possibility for a 3-point play return. Renew attacking the rim. Khalifa set. But by Renew jumping around him, he picks up the foul and a free throw return. It's still a challenge for him, especially when you have to come out and exert so much energy on the basketball court.
He's on the bench right now, but he's a big reason Louisville got off to a quick start. They've made 7 out of 10 from 3. That should raise eyebrows in Miami because Louisville is nothing if not a 3-point reliant team. Miami 1 out of 4.
It's not something that the Hurricanes rely on when you consider that they're last in the ACC in 3-point field goal attempts and makes. But, Obi, they're also last in 3-point field goal percentage defense. They give up 35% from around the 3-point arc. And Louisville to this point doubling that at 70%.
Kobe Rogers, the senior, running the point for the moment.
Zone once again defensively for the Canes.
Nice feed downstairs. Hadley trying to get out of there. They moved the ball well. They find the open shooter, and it went right back to Rogers.
We've got to get an ISO camera on Jay Lucas because every time he sees someone beyond the 3-point arc wide open, he just immediately throws his arms in the air and is disgusted to see another 3, a wide open 3 from the Cards.
True Washington. Allen slams on the brakes. Nicely done.
Dante Allen, who was scoreless in their win at SMU, but another one of the freshmen who have really had a strong year for Jay Lucas, starting his 12th straight game.
Remember his dad, Malik, played for Villanova in the late 90s.
Dad and I were also teammates with the Charlotte Bobcats.
Wow.
Yeah, not many people remember the Bobcats, OB.
McNeely with a turnaround. That'll rattle in. Good touch. So far, they have not gotten much out of Isaac McNeely, and he can disappear at times. He had 16 against Syracuse in the last game. Had 23 against Virginia, his former school, but was 1 for 7 against Tennessee, 2 for 7 against SMU. So he can be in and out. Washington, yes. And a three-pointer on the money.
And True Washington turned around with something to say to the Louisville bench as he knocks down the three right in front of them. Got to be careful with your conversation to the opposing team's bench.
Hadley, yes, with the left hand.
But I love Hadley attacking Renew with the 2 fouls, making sure you put him in a defensive action. And right now, the Cards getting everything they want on the offensive end of the floor.
Hadley coming off 19 against Syracuse. On the bounce, Renew. They double him. Allen with the pass to Washington. Jumping inside, well defended. Louisville locking him up. That was Frew, the 6'11 junior, to get a piece of it.
And Frew had been a starter the majority of the year, OB, but now coming off the bench for his second consecutive game.
Woolley hesitates, no. Tears down his own miss. Flips it up there. He'll be headed to the foul line. Woolley to shoots with 5:09 to go in the half. The foul by Altuntas.
The Cards moving the basketball against the zone. You make the zone contract, and then you get it back out. Another three. As you see the reaction of Jay Lucas, as soon as he sees Kobe Rogers wide open, he knows that one's going to go down off of the great ball movement by Louisville.
Woolley will have another one coming. Now the final Saturday of the regular season rolls on. Featured rivalry matchups today on ESPN and the ESPN app. Number 5 Florida and Kentucky at 4. Number 1 Duke hosting North Carolina at 6:30. That's followed by Alabama and Auburn, and the night capped off by number 10 Texas Tech and BYU.
Of course, devastating news coming out of Chapel Hill. Caleb Wilson, the prize freshman for UNC, will miss the remainder of the season after having season-ending surgery on his right thumb, dunking in a drill in practice on Thursday. And college basketball will miss Caleb Wilson because this is the last time, well, we've seen him for the last time. It was actually on this floor where he broke his left hand.
One of the most exciting players in college basketball. Had a great job, Miami, staying with it to cut into the lead, 37-29.
Yeah, Uday with the offensive rebound, finding Dante Allen, but Miami's been able to stay around. Even though Louisville's been shooting the basketball extremely well, Miami now starting to assert itself on the offensive end.
Woolley wants it, can't drain it. Henderson out of the pack with it. And Donaldson is on the line, on the sideline, and turns it over. That's number 6 for Miami.
But the first for Trey Donaldson, and as a point guard, you have to take accountability for your team handling the basketball. He's done that as of late, but now the first turnover for him, and which would have been a great opportunity, great scoring opportunity for the Canes.
Ryan Conwell back in the game, number 3 for Louisville, and that'll go the other way. That'll go against Louisville. We are right in front of the Louisville bench. And Pat Kelsey, after the whistle, turned and slammed both of his fists on the table in front of us.
I just had to make sure that you didn't get caught with any friendly fire on that one.
Yeah.
I know Pat Kelsey loves you, but he came with some force with that smack to the table. But he knew immediately that the foul was going to be on Frew with the offensive foul.
That woke me up, I'll tell you that. Don't need that cup of coffee I just ordered. Henderson back for Donaldson. Another rebound, Renew, but it spins out of his hands and it'll go the other way.
And I believe that Miami will challenge this one. It looks as though
4:01 to go in the half.
Yes, Miami's going to challenge that one. And that's a great challenge by Jay Lucas and his staff. But I love the way that college coaches have caught on to the trick, where whenever there's a play that you need to see, they send a player to the scorer's table to give them more time to look.
Yes.
And this one you get to see as Renew is going for the basketball. It's Woolley who touches it like some very important possessions, as each will be in this game. This game doesn't necessarily mean as much from a standpoint of the tournament seeding for Miami. However, it is a chance for a regular season record 25th win, so it's always going to mean something on senior day on your home floor.
Louisville got off to a 13-2 start. Miami has only been in the game within 7. That's the closest since. 37-29.
OB, we really need to keep a camera on all of these coaches. Now, in slow motion, that tap to the table by Pat Kelsey is nowhere near as violent as it seemed in real speed while we're sitting here listening to it.
Right.
But Kelsey, of course, extremely energetic, animated on the sideline. There are very few coaches who are as tuned in as Pat Kelsey when you talk about in-game action. But I think he may be rivaled on the other end of the floor. Jay Lucas has absolutely been animated as well this afternoon.
Two terrific young coaches in the conference. Way downtown, Dubrat will rattle that one in. But he can make a difference off the bench.
He really can. 4 or 5 from 3 against SMU last time out. And when you consider having that type of shooting on a team that doesn't make a lot of threes, you need a guy like Dubrat coming off the bench giving you production.
So Miami closes the gap to 5. McNeely can't get inside. Nice bounce for Conwell. In and out. Rebounded by Frew. Bounce it back out for Rogers. The crowd up here in Miami at Coral Gables. McNeely heaves it up there. He had plenty of time to do more than that. Miami with the momentum. Donaldson taking on McNeely. No. .245 to go in the half. McNeely will drive it and kick. Frew hits the deck and a foul. 2:34 left in half number 1. And a game day crew will be in Greenville, South Carolina at noon Eastern to get you set for 6 title games, highlighted by these 3. Championship matchup at 1 Eastern, followed by the SEC. We finish it up with the Phillips 66 Big 12 title on the line. Women's college basketball on Sunday.
Obi, I was in Greenville on Wednesday afternoon to watch Kentucky play against Arkansas in the first game of the SEC women's tournament. And when I tell you that environment was electric, almost as electric as what we're seeing here in Miami. I don't think in the last 10 years, as great as Jim Larinaga's teams and his coaching was, I can't remember hearing a defensive chant like we just heard on the last possession for the Hurricanes.
Conwell to the left hand. What a nice decision.
No, it didn't work.
Not that time, no.
But you can see how this crowd has really gotten behind this team and involved. And when you're looking at a chance to win a program record 25th regular season game, give Jay Lucas a tremendous amount of credit, he and his staff, for what they've done this season.
Everett feeling it, front rims that. Conwell with a rebound. He has 16 points here in the first half without Michael Brown Jr. Here's another. Rebound tipped and controlled by the Canes. They want to run. Allen pushes and fires into the corner. Off the fake. Yes. Dubrat again.
Nice play by Dante Allen, pushing the basketball in transition, never even looking at the basket. And as the crowd gets involved, OB, take it in. We haven't heard this in quite some time here at the U. And they are here looking for a win on Senior Day.
Well, the gentleman on the left in a white shirt, that is Jim Larrañaga, who did an incredible job at Coral Gables, coaching this program. He resigned in 24. He does not miss a game, by the way.
No, he does not miss a game. Still in part of the faculty here at the University of Miami, but Coach Larrañaga truly changed this program around. You're talking about one of the elite coaches to ever coach this game. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Final Four twice, two different schools, George Mason and Miami.
Right.
And then you think about the fact that he came in, won the ACC regular season, won the ACC tournament. He's done it all here at the U in 2023, taking his team to the NCAA Final Four.
What has been one of the great football schools in the country for so long, to be able to do that, that made Jay Lucas's decision a lot easier to come here. No question about it. Khalifa through, looking for a cutter. Conwell for McNeely. Got it.
That's the silencer. Isaac McNeely knocking down the 3-ball as the crowd chants defense. McNeely, thinking something different, is able to knock down another 3.
Now, Louisville had missed 5 of their previous 6. 1 minute to go before the break. Allen, not there for him, and a foul. Or did the basketball just go over the top of the backboard? Yeah, just went over the top of the backboard, so no foul on the play. 58.1 to go.
Well, Trey Donaldson was looking for a whistle. He took some friendly fire on that last possession, a little slow to get back down the floor. So we get a look at Jay Lucas. And you mentioned OB done a tremendous job throughout this year. A strong candidate for ACC Coach of the Year.
He will get a lot of support.
As he should. Similar to last year's ACC Coach of the Year, Pat Kelsey on our left. We're surrounded by coaching greatness here.
Talk about similar. Their comebacks in their programs engineered by those two guys, very similar in back-to-back years.
I believe it was the Cards last year who had the biggest turnaround in Division I.
Nice move by Woolley to drop in 2. 44-35, so they got it back to 9. Louisville, by the way, 17-1 this season when they have the lead at halftime.
That one loss against the Blue Devils.
That's right. They were up 47-38 against Duke. Couldn't hold it. And that was at home. Backdoor cut. Uday. Yes, he'll lay it in.
But just great anticipation by Donaldson. Well before Uday even set the screen, he threw the basketball knowing his teammate would be there to pick it up.
Conwell, a chance for a shot here right in front of the horn. He'll lay it in. He had a great half. That's our score at halftime.
Work for Michael Brown, but look forward to having him in his first and only ACC tournament next week.
We're going to say that about a lot of guys. Their first and only ACC tournament. So many good freshmen. And the pick immediately, Hadley stepping into the passing lane.
Great vision by Hadley there to read the mind of Trey Donaldson on that possession.
Gets it back in the paint, won't shoot it. The kick for the triple instead. And that'll rattle out. McNeely, good hustle for the rebound. Woolley on the baseline and can't finish that. Free on the deck, but Miami comes away with it. The Canes need a run here early in the second half like Louisville started the game with. Here's Henderson giving it up. Donaldson back out for the freshman. A collision. Zuberis hitting the deck. It's Donaldson. Yes! A three-pointer on the money.
And a much better second possession of the second half for Miami compared to the turnover. Trey Donaldson knocks down the 3 in the corner.
Tell you what, this crowd was alive and active. Zuberis with a nice move inside. He's played some big minutes, the 6'8" junior from Greece, who said the athlete he most admires, Lionel Messi.
Not a bad example to have, but
particularly
Greece,
here, yes.
But Greece and in his stature, you might be thinking Giannis. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Went with the soccer star, the greatest of all time. Well, Louisville wants that to go, and it will. It's going to be goaltending, so count that.
How about Zugris coming over and dapping up the entire coaching staff, and now going down the line to dap up his team as they're able to get the bucket off of the goaltend. Also a free throw to go along with it. That's close, OB. The call was that it was on the glass first, but from that angle, I'm not so certain that that was actually the case.
Woolley at the line, so this would be for a three-point play. Dante Allen with the foul, and he connects. So the way this game has gone so far, every time Louisville has the lead sliced down a little bit, Miami making some shots, hitting a couple of threes. Louisville goes on another run and opens it back up to double figures.
And it normally starts with a three. Most of the time it's been the three-pointer, but the last time it was the traditional three-point play by Woolley.
Renew. Allen, some quick dishes in the paint, and a foul on the play as Uday hit the deck. The big senior moving the ball quickly in that lane in close quarters.
But I tell you what, he got Zugris in the air, and this is a guy that when he fouls you, you're going to feel it. Zugris doing a great job making sure that Uday's unable to get a shot in the air, and no chance of a three-point play.
Zugris, who spent 4 years in the Greek Pro Basketball League. He puts Uday at the line. The TCU transfer, number 2 rebounder in the ACC, had 17 against Clemson. And the first one goes home, 51-41. He got a big hand here today on senior days. Very popular player among the Miami faithful.
They're on the Defensive Player of the Year watch. And another one of the 3 senior transfers that have really helped Jay Lucas turn this program around. We've mentioned it a number of times. Plus 17, the largest winning percentage improvement over year in Division I basketball this season.
Conwell with the dish. Zugris still spinning. Not there. Uday with the rebound. They want to fly, and fly indeed is what Henderson does. Shelton Henderson, the gifted freshman, to make it 51-44.
But how about Dante Allen really pushing the pace on that possession, finding Henderson ahead, and of course Miami wants to play as fast as possible on their home floor.
See if Conwell can keep it going after a great first half. He'll draw the foul. Ryan Conwell, a senior out of Indianapolis.
Smart play by Conwell, recognizing Renew, guarding him on the perimeter, going off the bounce and picks up the 3rd foul on Renew, attacking the paint.
So you get 17 minutes to go. Renew is arguably the most important guy from Miami. Do you sit him now?
I don't think so, and the reason being, OB, is when you bring in True Washington, it's actually a better matchup for Miami. Because when you look at Louisville's lineup, they have 4 guards on the floor. Hadley is so versatile, he can play the 4 spot. But when you bring in True Washington, now you're able to move Henderson to the floor. It was a great matchup against Hadley, and you don't lose anything. So I believe Jay Lucas will keep Renew on the floor to see if they can get something out of him on the offensive end, and also make sure you can keep him in some type of rhythm.
Yeah, he's not done a whole lot today. He's made 1 of 2 shots, but he does keep him on the floor.
And Louisville now playing the zone, and this is why you keep Renew on the floor, because you have to account for him in the middle of the zone area. And as he goes to the free throw line, I believe Jay Lucas is going to bring Dubrat into the game, who had a very good first half as well.
Second foul on Frew of Louisville to put Renew at the line. He has scored 20 points or more 16 times this year. 26 against NC State, at 28 against Pitt, 23 against Georgetown, and he's coming off a double-double against SMU, 14 points, 11 rebounds. He has really had an outstanding year.
He absolutely has. Mom, Melanie, teaching him the game of basketball from Miami, so coming back home. Also won a national championship at Montverde, playing alongside Jalen Duren, a number of great pros in that program. So Malik Renew has a strong basketball pedigree. But now you see Jay Lucas matching the size and Shelton Henderson moving to that 4 spot, especially on the defensive end. I believe it helps Miami more defensively without both the bigs on the floor in this matchup.
So, again, Miami within 7. Louisville with the ball. Renew is on the bench, by the way, for a bit. Here's McNeely. Gave up the dribble. Hadley swings it for Woolley. Shot clock to 5. Woolley trying to drive it, found an opening, and he lays it in.
Great job by Woolley, recognizing there's more than enough time for him to get to the rim and make a basket. The stick-to-itiveness to attack Donaldson and get around for the layup.
He's capable of being a big force for them offensively. He had a 21-point game against Cal. Henderson, nice feed. Allen. He'll drive it again and scoops in 2.
We talk a lot about Caleb Wilson, Caden Boozer, Cameron Boozer. Well, the other guy with that group was Dante Allen. They won Pete Cham championships together. Dante Allen, an elite playmaker and defender, so fit in very well for Andrew Moran, who happens to be, as Hadley knocks down to 3, Andrew Moran, who happens to be assistant coach for the Miami Hurricanes, last year's 2025 Naismith High School Coach of the Year.
Dante Allen, another Miami guy. Donaldson. Dovrat, who's been a factor, shooting the ball here. Donaldson with a great feed and a slam by Uday.
But Trey Donaldson knew exactly where he was going with that basketball before it even arrived in his hands. He saw how Louisville's defense hedged the screen. And so once he caught the basketball, he knew Uday would be wide open under the rim.
That's a big target at 6'11".
I'm going to go as far as to say Uday is the smallest 6'11" I've seen. He looks bigger than that. He looks like over 7 feet.
Nice hesitation by McNeely. And he'll drop it in. So back up to 10 for the Cardinals. Louisville has dropped out of the top 25 for the moment. Miami in at number 22 this week.
It's almost like Miami replaced Louisville as the ACC squad in the top 25. Miami getting in for the first time since 2023.
Allen drives and kicks. Dovrat again. Here's Henderson open. That glances off the 10. Now Ryan Conwell, who had 18 in the first half. He's been quiet so far in the second half for the Cardinals. Hadley. Bodied up by Allen. They go toe-to-toe. That's a tough shot and a foul. So Hadley to the stripe.
Dante Allen attacking off the bounce, able to finish at the rim. And we've seen quite a bit of that. Adrian Woolley showing off his left hand. But this is the guy getting it done. Uday.
Pediatric cancer, so near and dear to the Hall of Famer's heart. One of the many reasons we love Dickie V.
And remember, v.org, Vital raffle. So make sure you go get your chances to win that Porsche.
Yes.
And help out some young people.
I rarely get that right. Hadley at the line will drop it in. He makes 70%. Sixth-year man out of Minnesota.
This is truly the heart and soul of this team. He was a part of that resurgent team, 18-2 last year for the Cards in regular season, went to the ACC Tournament Championship. And Pat Kelsey relies so much on Javon Hadley, especially when you don't have Kason Pryor. You don't have really that depth at the 4 spot that he's used to having. And now he talks about how many minutes Hadley has to play for them to be successful.
Henderson keeps on driving. Can't connect, though. Louisville shuts him down. They have matched their biggest lead against Miami today. Now trying to go beyond that. McNeely. Rebounded in the corner. Here come the Canes. They need someone to have a hot hand. Renew is usually that guy, but not this time, and a foul.
Oh, I really believe those 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game got Renew out of sync. He hasn't been the same offensive player that we've seen from him all season long. You couple that with his senior day, so he knows he's playing his last regular season game in college. And I believe just getting off to that tough start has really hampered him even missing shots that we used to seeing him make around the basket.
He's had some terrific games all season long. He's been great, but North Carolina had a double-double against the Tar Heels, 16 and 10. Question is, will be first team all ACC or second team as far as I'm concerned?
That's it. He's going to be on one of those two teams, but I'm not sure that people will look at him as valuable as they have Trey Donaldson. I don't know if Miami will get two players on that first team all ACC, but I know they will have one, and it will be one of those two guys.
Conwell has cooled off a bit in the second half, trying to reheat. McNeely with a fall away, drains that.
And that's what McNeely's done more so of in this game. In his last time out, he was 5 of 11 from the field, 5 of 11 from three. Now he's mixing it up. We've seen him going to the basket a little bit more, going to the mid-range, making plays off the bounce, which is a dynamic that he absolutely has in this game.
Washington, no. Rebound tipped out. It'll stay on this end with Miami. If I asked you your first team, aside from Carlos Boozer, because you vote.
I do vote.
As do I.
Yes.
For these honors.
Yes.
Who's on that team?
I'm going Cam Boozer. Now, the question becomes, does Caleb Wilson playing 11 games make it? And I got experience.
Yeah.
Because I played that many games my last year at Virginia, and I didn't make it, although I was putting up first-team numbers.
Yes.
I didn't make any of the All-ACC teams. Wasn't on the ballot.
Washington in the miss, but that was very unfair.
Well, but I don't know if they look at it.
It was an uh-oh for a moment, but Henderson laid it, and he went for the dunk.
But I would also be certain to have Trey Donaldson on my first team as he decks Conwell. They're going to go look at this one.
Yeah, Ryan Conwell really hit with a thud.
And Ron Gruber, right in front of the play, immediately signals that they're going to go over and see if there was anything extracurricular. However, this is more of the reason why Trey Donaldson will be on my
call
first
on the
team.
floor is a common foul on number 3, Miami. Plays under review for a potential flagrant.
So they're going to take a look at this. Ron Gruber, Justin Porterfield, and Michael Kitts.
I think they'll come away with this as just a common foul. And again, there is some contact, some forceful contact, but it's a shoulder trying to get in front of him, impeding the progress. A great call on the foul. I just don't see them adding anything to this one.
Yeah, they took a very quick look. Let's see what they come away with. 12:41 remaining here in Miami. And Ron Gruber is going to let everybody know.
Yep, that's going to be
the call on the floor is a common foul. That will stand.
Good call. Another great call by Corey Alexander.
I don't know about another one. Every clock is right twice a day.
And let me answer, for me anyway, that question about Caleb Wilson. I know it's not enough games, and everybody missed him in, I think, in national basketball. Nationally, people missed him with the injuries. To me, yes, he's a first-team All-ACC.
I agree that he is a first-team All-ACC performer. I will vote for him if he's on the ballot, which I'm sure he will be, simply because of his impact that he had in the 11 games. And you go back and you talk about, the matchup, the rematch we'll see this afternoon between Duke and North Carolina. Caleb had 17 first-half points in that game, and that was his next to last game. To me, that solidified that he was absolutely deserving of his spot.
On the biggest stage.
Yes.
And you don't get better than Duke and Carolina. He was phenomenal.
Yes.
And the giant reason they won that game, other than Seth Trimble's shot, of course, and Seth also had an excellent game. The bounce here for Renew. Renew trying to dump it down. Uday lost it. Renew got it back. Many opportunities here for Miami. They're going to get another opportunity. Donaldson. True Washington trying to cut into it. 7 on the shot clock. He'll draw the foul. Hit the shot. He made the shot, and it ought to count.
And he really has been effective for Jay Lucas coming off the bench. With Renew in foul trouble, True Washington stepping in and making plays, not just his shooting, but his playmaking off the bounce as well. all-ACC performer. I think he's had a tremendous year, so not sure if he's a first-teamer or a second-teamer, but a lot of it has to do with where does Michael Brown fall on that list. I do believe he belongs on a all-ACC team as well, and you consider the fact that, I mean, he's going to be in the ACC record books for a very long time. 45 points, the freshman record that ties Wes Unseld for the most points ever scored by
only Wes Unseld, right.
only Wes Unseld, right? So I believe he belongs on one of those teams. Malik Reneau as well as Trey Donaldson, I believe, are both all-ACC performers. So you've got to figure out who goes on that first team. I think we've got a great list of second and third team guys, but some of those guys are going to have to move up because I don't know that outside of Boozer, Caleb Wilson, you know, who's really separated themselves.
I'll tell you another guy who's going to be high on one of those teams is Trey Donaldson.
Oh, Trey will be, to me, Trey's a first teamer. I mean, when you think about the turnaround, Miami a third seed in the ACC tournament, and not only what he's doing scoring, but his assists as well, leadership.
But Woolley getting great position there, not to be denied. He's had a fine game.
He really has. It played really well. And so that's one of the advantages and what Pat Kelsey has found out with the 10 missed games of Michael Brown. Woolley has really grown in his role, whether he's a starter or coming off the bench. He's a much more aggressive player now than he was before Michael missed games early.
Louisville heating up again. They've made 6 of their last 7 shots. And again, every time Miami makes a little noise that they're really going to cut this thing down, the Ville hits another big shot. They've been doing that all day for Pat Kelsey. Foul will go on Khalifa, his second.
Now, we have to vote by tomorrow at 5 p.m., correct?
You're putting a lot of pressure on your partner here.
Oh, man, I think that's the cutoff.
All
Henry
right.
Bessar, Testa Ritter from Virginia. I mean, there are a lot of worthy candidates this year, but not a lot of separation between them.
Reneau at the line. 68-59, 11 minutes to go. Pressure here from the Canes. Trying to force a turnover in the backcourt.
A little full court pressure by the Canes, trying to get a trap, but the problem is you've got to be able to get back.
Hadley will draw the foul. Javon Hadley, good passer, good shooter. Henderson's 3rd foul. So for Jay Lucas, getting back into the top 25, playing really good basketball, winning 7 of their last 8, facing a Louisville team without their #1 player in Michael Brown Jr. But Louisville has had the upper hand all day.
And also possibly setting up what would be a potential rematch in the quarterfinal round if Louisville is able to win their second round game on Wednesday. If they win this game, they're the 6th seed. Miami's the 3rd seed. We would see this same matchup on Thursday afternoon.
The ACC tournament is going to be a blast.
It really is.
And I know Duke is Duke. They have been spectacular. Donaldson way downtown. We'll see how meaningful that shot is. But it makes it a 6-point game. McNeely looking for Conwell. And a whistle and a foul. And that'll go against True Washington. So we check out the bracket up to the minute. T. Rowe Price ACC men's basketball tournament in Charlotte beginning on Tuesday. Louisville a 6 seed.
How about SMU at an 11 seed? And for the team that they have, we didn't even talk about Boobie Miller. B.J. Edwards had 2 triple-doubles on the season. I mean, the ACC has done a lot right this year. I have to applaud this conference for all they've done right. They've gotten things back on track. It's been a tremendous season. However, there is, in my opinion, one black eye on the league. Miami and Duke did not play this year.
Yes, they
the fact that there are teams that do not play each other in the regular season, and that is a matchup that so many would love to see.
Downstairs, Khalifa, he'll finish it. 9:53 to go. Louisville again making a big shot. And that man, True Washington, he took a hit on a screen in the backcourt.
Huge hit. That's where your teammate has to call out that screen. If you're going to have your guards getting up and pressuring, whoever man comes up to set that screen, Khalifa stays there, sets a hard screen, a legal screen on True Washington. And Washington slow to get back into the play, allowing the Cards to play 5-on-4 and get an easy bucket.
Ran him right into a 7-footer. Renew baseline. Keeps on working, draws the foul. That's something he does as well as anyone. Just keeps on working hard underneath that iron. Fouled on the play. The senior from Miami, fouled by Sananda Frew, his third. Renew, like most of the Canes, it's twos, not threes. He is 7 for 7 at the line. He has only 9 points in the game. He's been perfect at the stripe. And I'm really happy he made that. I can't tell you how happy I am. Well, this is some pain from Washington. Grimacing on the bench and now on the bike.
Yeah, that's the best way to keep it loose. He actually waved off Jay Lucas when they sent the sub to the table after Ron Gruber called the timeout. But at that point, I don't think you have much choice other than to have to check out. But True Washington told Jay Lucas he was fine, but oftentimes coaches have to protect players from themselves.
More backcourt pressure. McNeely breaks it. Ahead for Frew. He'll slam it down.
But the one thing you cannot do is allow the trap to be beaten. Once you beat that trap, now there's an advantage for the offensive team. All Frew has to do is run the floor to get the easy layup.
Donaldson, power drive for two. Not to be denied, Trey Donaldson. Wednesday, he had 17 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. Talk about stuffing the stat sheet.
Yes, and he's done it all season long.
McNeely's open. Big rebound. Underneath Frew. He'll kick it for Hadley. Got it. So the guy who really made that play was Woolley.
Yeah, but Frew, a foot from the basket at 6'11", doesn't lay it up, decides to throw it out, and ends up being the right decision as they're able to knock down another three. The Cards in double figures again with 11 three-point field goals made.
Henderson took a hit, no whistle on the play.
That's tough spacing right there, Obi. It's too many people, too many bodies in that area. Without much shooting on the floor for the Canes.
77-66. Louisville trying to add to that. 10 to get off a shot for the Cardinals. Conwell.
Oh, great hands.
Knocked away by Uday. On the run, Henderson, and he is fouled on the play. 7:52 to go. Miami needed some life, and they got a big turnover.
Yeah, they get a big turnover, but they miss an opportunity on the previous possession. With the Canes up pressing, the last thing you can do is allow the guy out of the trap. And by letting Conwell out, it ends. Getting an opportunity to see Malik Renew talking to the Juice, a.k.a. Coach C.Y., who is Carroll City's finest, but coming back home. Jay Lucas put together a tremendous staff when you consider the fact not only Andrew Moran, who was a great high school coach here, coaching at Columbus High School, but also bringing CY back from Missouri, where CY so influential in Florida State's, surge to the top of the ACC.
Well, down to 6 again. Louisville has to get it across. They do from McNeely. It's the closest the game has been in the second half. 6 points on several occasions.
And these are the areas where you talked about before. Louisville's always had a response throughout this game, finding a way to keep that separation between the two teams.
6 to get off a shot. Javon Hadley in close. Yes, another answer.
And that's normally the guy you're going to get it from. he makes the tough plays. He doesn't always show up everything that he does in the box score. He's not always flashy, but look at it now. He goes to the block, gets a bucket. Now he's guarding a guy about 4 to 5 inches taller than him in Renew.
16 for Hadley. Renew takes a tumble and the whistle blown at 7:05 left.
Javon Hadley, who transferred in from Colorado last season, has mentored a number of lottery picks. Cody Williams with the Utah Jazz, now helping Michael Brown become a pro during his college experience. But Hadley is a guy that coaches often lean on from an experience standpoint, but also to do the dirty work, make the tough plays, and that time showing off his offensive prowess.
Well, he just picked up his 3rd foul to send Renew to the line. Malik Renew not getting many opportunities to shoot it, but he's been at the line a ton. He's only attempted 2 field goals today. Averages about 12 or 13.
Yeah, remember he missed a lot of action in the first half, picking up those 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the game. As Kelsey will continue to go to Hadley, give him opportunities. That time, a nice job by Donaldson reaching in for the steal.
Poked it away. Can they turn that into points? 6.5 to play here at Coral Gables. Big crowd on hand. The last game of the regular season. Renew hesitates. Can't connect. And before the tip, there was a foul. 77-69.
Trey Donaldson recognizing that Hadley may have an advantage over True Washington, so he reaches in, strips the basketball away, allows the Canes to get out into transition. And Renew back to the free throw line. Honestly, I believe in that last possession, OB, Malik Renew, instead of seeking out the contact, he could have just laid that one up. But he was trying to get that foul on Frew to see if he could possibly pick up the 3-point play. Ends up missing the bucket. Was able to knock down the first free throw.
He's 10 out of 11 at the line. Miami, not a good foul shooting team, only about 68%, in fact 15th in the ACC. But they get to the line a lot, and he makes both.
It's a team that plays inside out. When you've got Renew, you've got Uday, and then Donaldson that likes to attack off the bounce, as does Henderson. So a number of guys that like to attack the rim. You're going to get your free throw opportunities, but as you mentioned, they haven't necessarily taken care of them, and that could cost them in close games.
Although today it made them 15 of 17. Back to a 6-point game. Woolley trying to make a move. He's held up and fouled. It'll go against True Washington of Miami.
That's another thing that both these teams do, Obi. They foul a lot. Louisville last in the ACC in fouls per game, and Miami 16th. Forgive me. Miami doesn't foul as much. They're the second fewest in the ACC, so they're racking up their opportunities. It's Louisville that struggles on the defensive end of the floor, keeping their hands off.
Woolley with a miss. He's 82% at the line. So a window perhaps opening up for Miami. Donaldson trying to take advantage. Renew spins into the lane and draws a foul. And Pat Kelsey on his side was crying for a traveling violation before a foul. And still very angry about that. Rogers' his second foul.
And Pat Kelsey right in front of us. You see the 2 hands from Hadley on the waist. But I'm not sure that's enough contact for that to be a foul. I understand Pat Kelsey's point on that one, because I do believe that Renew was really losing his balance well before there was any contact on that possession.
I think you're right. So Renew back to the line where he's just not missing. He's keeping Miami within striking distance at the stripe.
Yeah, and he's actually shot the basketball from the free throw line very well throughout this season, especially for a guy that gets many opportunities. 75.8% for him in ACC play, so he's making 3 out of 4 normally. Even more effective from the stripe tonight.
He's made 13 of 14.
Similar game to what we saw from Cameron Boozer against Virginia.
Right.
Only 3 field goals, still scoring big because of getting to the strike.
So now a 4-point game. Here comes the crowd again. Conwell launching. No. Miami with it again. Crowd trying to make a big difference here at the Watsco Center. Miami's been fighting from behind all day. Renew poked away in another foul here against the Bill. That'll be on Kobe Rogers, number 3. So they want Renew to touch it every time down. Louisville is 48-0 under Pat Kelsey when leading the game with 5 minutes to play.
Well, Miami has yet to be able to get over the hump. Even though they've had their comeback in the second half, they have not been able to get over the hump. We saw the Cards respond multiple times in the first half. Renew now an opportunity to make this a 1-possession game. Although he misses the first free throw, a make on the second still allows it to be a 1-possession game.
Just his second miss today. 13 for 15. As a team, Miami's 17 for 20. And another one for Malik Renew. Part of senior day today here at Coral Gables. Gets the second.
Jay Lucas wants a timeout as his team has gotten as close as they have throughout this second half. Now the lead down to 3. Important time for a defensive-minded coach at this point. But I love his message to his team. We haven't done anything yet. Getting a double bye means it gives you an opportunity to go win in Charlotte. However, you still have to take care of business. And now they've got to take care of business here on their home floor, because being ranked today means nothing with the loss.
Ryan Conwell, 20 points in the game, but only 2 in the second half. Louisville needs him in these last 5 minutes. Michael Brown Jr. out for 2 consecutive games with back trouble, so they can't turn to him. Khalifa on a high post, shot clock to 8. Here for Hadley. He's been the man for them in the second half. Down to 1 on the shot clock, blocked. Renew got a hand on it, and a huge defensive play. With the shot clock winding down, Malik Renew with the stuff. The Canes with an opportunity to tie it. Washington back out. Donaldson fires. Got it! Tied at 77. Backdoor. McNeely draws the foul. And he'll be at the line to shoot 2, and a great foul shooter, 90%.
And a nice pass. We know Ali Khalifa is one of the best playmakers at the top of the key. A beautiful find off the cut. But there's a lot of basketball on that possession, but there is arm at the end of that play. Initially, that's basketball, but then you see the arm. But now here's the concern. Once the hand's on the basketball, after that, does the arm matter, OB?
I'm not sure there it did.
Well, as my great friend Rasheed Wallace has often said, ball don't lie. Because I do believe that that was now a loose basketball once the arm is hit. But Isaac McNeely, a 90% free throw shooter, misses the first.
Boy, it looked like a great block. Instead of fouling, makes 1 of 2. 78-77. Under 4 minutes to play in Miami. Miami trying to get the lead. Donaldson gives it to them for the first time in the game. The Canes by 1. McNeely trying to get by Donaldson. And cannot hit. The tip is up and good.
Uday tipped that in though, OB. He was trying to tap the basketball away from Frew and ends up tapping it in, giving the Cards the lead right back.
Winds up an own goal. Donaldson, nice pass, and Renew at the finish. Back and forth we go in these last 4 minutes. Timeout.
OB, you know I'm often side with guards. Coming into the game, the question mark for me was, is it Trey Donaldson? Is it Malik Renew? It's Trey Donaldson. As he makes play after play to end this game, Uday tips in the basketball. However, on the other end, Donaldson's able to get it back for the Kings.
Well, it's really a rivalry Saturday on ESPN. Number 5, Florida and Kentucky coming your way at 4 Eastern. Number 1, Duke hosting North Carolina at 6:30 Eastern time. That's followed by Alabama and Auburn in the night, capped off by number 10 Texas Tech and BYU.
Auburn really needing a win at Alabama to keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive. It's been a struggle for Stephen Crow and his team the latter half of the SEC play. And Alabama has continued to ascend, going right back to the top of the SEC where they've truly been since Nate Oates took over about 9 years ago.
3 minutes to go. Miami by 1. They have rarely led in this game. For a total of 54 seconds in the entire contest. Louisville trying to take it back. Conwell in for Frew. Woolley will set it up now for Pat Kelsey. On the drive around the back. Determined to get a shot in the air. He missed it, but he drew the foul. It almost went, too.
Pat Kelsey putting the basketball in Woolley's hands. Remember, no Michael Brown Jr. on the floor for the Cards. And now Ryan Conwell with only 2 points in this second half. Kelsey deciding to give Woolley the opportunity to go make a play. He rewards his coach by getting to the free throw stripe.
They've certainly tightened up the defense on Conwell, and he's not been as aggressive hunting his shot in the second half. Woolley at the line, 82%, one of the better foul shooters for the Cardinals.
Both these teams come in averaging 85 and 83 points per game, respectively. And I believe we're going to push past that. 81-81 with still 2:47 remaining. I think we could possibly push past both their season averages here this afternoon.
He makes the pair. Cardinals by 1, 2:45 to go. Donaldson with the basketball. He's 13 points in the second half. He's 5 for 5. He's made all 3 of his threes, too. Washington will try one. Yes! Miami back on top. And a whistle, 2:23 to go. And another foul on the play.
Going to get True Washington getting his right arm in the mix, holding Conwell, but it was True knocking down the corner 3 to extend the lead for the Canes.
So Conwell to the line, very good there, 84%. Came in as Louisville's #1 scorer at 19 a game. And very smooth at the line. Another one will tie it.
Really impressed with the crowd here, OB. This was reminiscent of when Jim Larinaga took over here in Miami, and he was going around handing out pizzas to students, trying to get people to show up at games. And they had this type of environment early in Larinaga's career, especially as they were winning the ACC, and the crowd has definitely been a factor in helping the Canes come back.
That's nice to see, and very deserving, this team, of that kind of regard. Renew with a dribble down. No. Did everything he wanted. Washington hits the deck, and there is a foul on the play.
How about that effort? We saw True Washington get hit with a screen earlier, went to the bench, had to stretch it out a bit, got on the bike. But look at the effort that he is throwing his body in the mix as Woolley reaches in. And True Washington was actually calling a timeout. That's why Woolley was so frustrated about the fact he was called for a foul. True was calling for a timeout, not knowing that he had gotten the call on that possession.
So Washington, the junior from Phoenix, at the line. Another one coming for True Washington. .206 to play. Trying to put Miami back in front, and he does. Dante Allen back on now for Jay Lucas, the 6'4" freshman.
And between Allen and True Washington, they've done a tremendous job, especially in the second half, following Ryan Conwell everywhere that he went. 18 first half points for Conwell, now 22 in the game, only 4 in the second half.
Woolley taking a look at the shot clock, down to 8 now. On the penetration, gives it off, and the slam. Through right there to finish.
Woolley became a de facto point guard when Michael Brown Jr. was injured early. Pat Kelsey said that was something he found, and now you see him trusting him to make plays late in the game.
Donaldson will fire. Too strong. Rebounded away by Adrian Woolley. And Louisville up by 1 as we approach the 1-minute mark in Miami. 1:05 to play. Woolley taking his time. He gets Hadley moving. McNeely heads the opposite corner. He'll turn and fire. Well short. Rebound tipped. And the shot clock went to zeros.
And Kelsey wants a foul on that three-point attempt. As he asked Isaac McNeely, did you get hit? And McNeely, who it is part of his shot to kick out that right leg. That one may be a little exaggerated, but it is something that is part of his natural shot.
The review is for the game clock. We have a shot clock violation.
So going to the monitor on a shot clock violation. We have 51 seconds to play, and Louisville clinging to a 1-point advantage.
I believe that's a great defensive effort by Donaldson on that possession. I don't think that's a foul, and simply because of that right leg, if there's any contact, it would only be with that right leg, which was kicked out.
Game clock will be adjusted to 51.9. That's when the shot clock violation occurred.
So they reset the clock to 51.9. We've had 6 lead changes in the last 3 minutes.
And we haven't mentioned how great of a job this crew, the officiating crew, has done throughout this afternoon's game, allowing it to be physical, yet calling it consistently on both ends of the floor.
Yep.
Great flow of game.
No question about that. There's our reset. Louisville has the possession arrow. Louisville down to 2 timeouts. And Henderson will check it in now for Jay Lucas. Louisville with some pressure. Here's Donaldson. Miami trailing by 1 with the ball and 43 seconds to go. Malik Renew kicks out is Washington. Rebound tipped up and in by Henderson. Miami on top by 1. No timeout by Kelsey. Woolley steps back and launches. Got it! A three-pointer. Right through the heart. 18.4 to go. Louisville by 2. And Miami will take a timeout with 14.1 seconds.
How about Adrian Woolley stepping up in the biggest moments? No Michael Brown, no problem for Woolley.
.1 seconds to go. Louisville leading on the road here, 89-87. Look at the last couple of plays.
Yeah, Shelton Henderson in the right place at the right time. True Washington unable to get the 3 to go, but Henderson right there showing off his athleticism, the tip in. But on the other end is Adrian Woolley off the bounce, stepping back, knocking down a huge 3 to give the Cards a 2-point lead with just 14.1 remaining.
So Miami with 1 timeout remaining. Louisville with 2. Coming out of this timeout, who do you expect is going to get the touch?
Trey Donaldson will have the basketball in his hands to make the play, whether it's a shot for him or he creates an opportunity for one of his teammates. But that's the guy that Jay Lucas is going to trust to try to tie or possibly win this game. And for Miami on their home floor, they have 0 problem with going an extra standard, so we could see them going for 2.
Louisville got off to a terrific start today. They have rarely trailed in the game until these last 3.5 minutes. Then it's been back and forth, back and forth. And now Miami with the ball coming out of the timeout, trying to tie or take the lead against Louisville. Henderson in for Donaldson. Trying to make a move on Conwell. Spun away. It's off the hand. He threw it away. Off Renew. It'll be Louisville ball with 8 seconds to go. leading by 2.
Renew took his eyes off the basketball. As simple as really thinking about what he was going to do before he catches the basketball, as Donaldson is falling down and tries to get rid of the basketball. But you see Renew, who sticks a right hand out, but he takes his eyes off the ball, never catching it firmly.
So now timeout, Pat Kelsey. And Conwell and the Cardinals leading by 2, putting Miami in a position they have to foul. 89-87. Donaldson got twisted up like a pretzel, and that caused the poor pass. (89-87) Louisville.
Depending upon today's action, the Cards can finish 6th through 8th in ACC action. With a win, they will finish 6th, which would set up a matchup between the winner of SMU and Syracuse. And then if they're able to win that game, a rematch of today's afternoon action against Miami. So looking forward to staying in that 6th spot. And also, you want to make sure you stay away from that 1 bracket,
yes,
by the way.
Do. Yeah.
I don't think anybody really wants to see the Blue Devils until championship Saturday.
Louisville is a good and a really good foul shooting team, but they're 11 for 17 today.
They've got 2 elite free throw shooters, and you talk about McNeely, who they'll try to get the basketball to, and Conwell, who's experienced at this time of the game. So Kelsey would trust either of those guys at the free throw line with 6.7 remaining.
It'll be Conwell, 84%. McNeely's 90%. And Conwell 4 for 4 today at the line. And heading back there with 6.7 seconds to go. So Louisville trying to put this game away at the line and grab an impressive win on the road against a team that's 15-2 in their home building, and he makes number 1. Not only that, but Louisville down the key player in their lineup today without Michael Brown Jr., who's only been able to cheerlead on the sideline, and yet here they are up 90-87.
So at this point now, OB, Louisville discussing on a miss, if this were to be a miss. Do you foul or do you not foul? We see Pat Kelsey and a number of the players waving their arms as to no. So if there were to be a miss from Conwell, it doesn't look like the Cards will foul.
And makes them both. Huge makes there by Ryan Conwell.
Moot point at this point at 6.7. Just stay out of the way.
Kelsey's saying no fouls, no fouls. Donaldson blows by everybody, lays it in. 2.2 seconds to go and a timeout. 91-89, right down to the very end we come.
So Jay Lucas wants to extend the game. Now they get the easy bucket. They make it a 2-point game. Call the timeout. Now they can set up their full court pressure to see if they get a turnover on an inbounds play for a shot at the buzzer. At this point in the game, OB, if you're Miami, you want to be overly aggressive on any pass coming inbounds to see if you can dislodge the basketball, come up with the steal. However, if you are called for a foul before the ball is inbounded, unlike the NBA, there's no penalty.
Right.
So therefore, you save as much time as possible to be able to see if you can get a missed free throw and an opportunity to be able to get a 3-point heave at the buzzer.
So it'll be Javon Hadley to try and put it in over 6'11" Ernest Uday. The ability to run that line. Trying to get it in. He does for Frew, and he's tied up immediately and fouled. Not among the better foul shooters for Louisville at 66%.
But 1.8, no timeouts remaining for Miami.
And Frew marching to the other end to shoot. He makes 2. He effectively ices this game, and another win for Louisville, which would be their 22nd of the year. Through the junior from Berlin, Germany. Shooting 2. Misfire on number 1. As you pointed out, Miami out of timeouts.
With only 1.8 seconds, not much time. Maybe off of a miss, 1 dribble, and a half-court heave. Honestly, it helps Miami if he makes this. Allows them to set up an inbounds play.
He makes it.
So Miami will take their time and set up an inbounds play to try to throw it full court to see if they can get a good look at a 3.
It'll be Dante Allen, the freshman, to get it in from Miami. 91-89 Louisville. 1.8 seconds to go. Looking for a miracle, Miami. Allen gets it in. Washington from midcourt fires it up, and it rims out. And Louisville wins it 92-89. Heck of a finish here today at Coral Gables.
And Miami got a great look.